Good morning, good afternoon, good evening. Thank you so much for joining me today. I have a confession. I love to drive fast. In fact, my whole family loves to drive fast. We love it so much that we jokingly say that there's a lead foot in our DNA. You see, I loved it when I went overseas and I drove on the Autobahn, and I love it when I get a chance to talk to race car drivers. Race cars, although I'm not a car person, race cars and racing actually fascinate me because I love to drive fast. And those race cars, they can go up to 200 miles an hour on the straightaway and 100 miles an hour as they're taking the curve. It's fascinating. But then you have to look at the car. The car is stripped down to nothing. It has rooms for one person. It's made to be as light as it can be. Even the hardware is not on the doors. You have to crawl through the window. And it made me think the other day about, are we using the wrong thing for the wrong purpose? You see, if we wanted to use a race car to do our everyday activities, we'd have some problems. Because a race car only allows you to drive with one person, how would you take your kids to school? It has no storage, so how would you get your groceries? You see, it's important that we learned to use the right tools for what we're doing. A few years ago, I wrote a book called Power Up, Power Down: How to Reclaim Control of Every Situation and Make It a Win-Win. And what I've discovered in that book is that we always have personal power to be assessed in any and every situation. But it's up to us to step into our power both responsibly, with integrity, and in the right way. How do we do that? How do we step into power and deal with power dynamics in the right way? Well, I believe that it has a lot to do with picking the right tool. Just like you don't use a race car to go to the grocery store, and you wouldn't use an SUV on the racetrack. Picking the proper power tool to use in a situation, knowing how to read the situation, and then having the tools in your tool belt to pick and to take. Knowing whether to spread out and take up more room or to lower your voice so that you level the power dynamics that are in a conversation. There are so many things that we can do with our body, with our tone of voice, with the way that we approach people, with our eye contact, without our eye contact, the words that we use that either make people feel comfortable or they make people power up against us. You see, so many times we think that we need to ask for power, or we need to be in a position to be a person of power or to have influence with other people. But that's not the case. It took me years to understand and to have the epiphany that power is within our grasp and our reach. The problem is we don't know how to harness it, and we don't know which tool to use to properly implement it in whatever situation we're at. And that often leads to horrible power dynamics and struggles with people that sometimes we can never recover from. That's why I wrote my book, Power Up, Power Down: How to Reclaim Control of Every Situation and Make It a Win-Win. I wrote it as a guidebook so that you can pick tools to use in different situations. We talk about situations where you might need to power up and situations where you might need to power down. You see, we help you to choose whether you need to drive that race car or hop in an SUV. We help you understand. It helps you to see that you have power. And you have it at your fingertips with anything and everything you can do. It's a matter of powering up or powering down. And we can step into our power at any given point in time. You don't have to ask permission. It's already there for you to utilize. You just need to plug into it. And if you don't know how, I'd like you to go to gailgift.com. This is not gimmicks. This is not anything else. I want to PDF you a copy of my book. Yes, you'll get instant access to my book, Power Up, Power Down, so that you can learn when to use the proper tools of power. So go to gailgift.com, grab that right now, along with some other free training that I'm offering for you. And most of all, if you've learned anything about power today, if the idea that power is there for you to tap into in any and every situation, share that with a friend, because friends help friends succeed. And the things that we talk about with power dynamics help you succeed in any and every relationship that you're in. Thank you so much.